Cam Newton has officially been released from the New England Patriots. They did Cam dirty. It's just really foul. We still rocking with Cam on this. Just for the mere fact, man, he took the entire 2020 season on the chin. It's like he didn't play great, but he won 7 of 15 games played with his legs, with no roster. I mean, after Julian Edelman got hurt, the dude was out there playing. Every single wide receiver on the squad, and the tight ends included, were undrafted.
Yeah.
Like, he was playing with dudes like he went to Kroger like, you look like you could run. Like, man, come on. Like, it was ridiculous. I mean, people always make jokes about Bill Belichick being like, oh, yeah, when he goes to Burger King, he fires his next quarterback or whatever.
Yeah.
That looks like literally what Cam was playing with last year.
I found my tight end on the bread aisle.
Yeah, like for real, for real. So he spent a whole season dealing with that. He had the issue with COVID, missed 1 game. I mean, all in all, with the season being all of what it was, all the opt-outs and everything else, 7-9 isn't actually terrible for you being in a rebuild year after you just lost the GOAT. So then you fast forward to this season. Now you had a full off season, got to run through preseason, a grasp of the playbook. You read up the roster with all these extra players. You read up, you got wide receivers, you got tight ends. All your opt-outs are back on defense.
Yep.
You re-signed, like brought Kyle Van Noy back,
yep.
Brought in some new defensive pieces. The team is really looking like it's ready to make some moves.
This is supposed to be the new landscape for Cam, so we thought.
It is. It's like, man, after he went on ahead and took the whole L for New England last year,
yeah.
The least you could do is give him the start. I mean, even if you were like, okay, he's not going to make it through the entire season,
yeah,
I could understand if you're like, all right, he's not panning out. He doesn't look like he should. And Mac is balling, so it's like, all right, it's time, and I could be easy with that. The fact that you just cut him, and it's basically just based off of he didn't want to get the vaccine, and then a misunderstanding. He got permission to go to have a medical appointment away from New England. Mm-hmm. It's like it was approved by the team for him to go, but he didn't get his COVID test from an NFL-approved facility.
Of course.
So that caused the 5 days, and it was literally a misunderstanding. Mac had an excellent day at camp without Cam there, and all of a sudden, Cam is gone. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I don't understand the logic behind it. I think it's really foul. Don't have any issues with Mac Jones. I think he's really good. I think he needed his little bit of time to sit behind Cam.
Yeah, agreed.
But now he doesn't have time.
Right.
So it's like, man, you got to roll with it.
Yep.
Unlike some of the people who really just showed their hand,
yeah,
the way they went in on Cam the entire time. And the flip side of it now, we are not going to do that. We don't have an issue with Mac.
Right.
We like Cam. He deserved to get the start. So I'm still sitting here with the Cam jersey on, but we're going to rock with Mac. We ain't got no issues with him.
Yeah.
He the quarterback. Hey, I hope he is all of what they say he is.
You know, initial reaction, I mean, you laid it all out there. This was supposed to be the new landscape for Cam Newton. Like I mentioned it, you know, when Bill Belichick spending all this money in free agency, all this money in the offseason, you know, potentially the best tight end duo in the NFL at this point, picking up those players and all the people coming back from the opt-out, the defensive culture. Brady just won the ring. Like, I'm still convinced, and this is somewhere all in the mystery, that Bill has a fire lit under his ass. He's still trying to show the world that it wasn't all Brady. It absolutely wasn't all Brady, and that's what Bill is really here to show us. Now, I don't know what this whole cut of Newton and Mac being the starters really bringing to us, and I do think it's more than a COVID vaccine or potential play. But let's get into that. You know, man, some people are saying, is it on-field play, like you mentioned? Is it practice? Is the fact that he didn't want to get the COVID shot? Well, I think it's all of the above. But let's also take a look at this, right? So I think Belichick, again, you know, he had Brady for so many years. I think Belichick wants control over the team again. Not that he ever lost it, but Belichick knows it's a new beginning. It's a new time, you know, fresh foundation. And some people could potentially say, I don't know if you would, but it's kind of like a rebuilding stage for New England. We know that they're going through a lot of times right now. Now, they're not going to be obviously 3, 4, 5 win team, but they've got some steps to make before they get back to that kind of dynastic team we had seen before in the NFL. And, you know, Mac Jones being a rookie, no NFL schemes under his belt right now. Big connection between Sarkisian, Saban, and Bill Belichick. We've heard that for years now. So getting a quarterback in his system, you know, he mentioned it when we picked him, like, it was kind of a head scratcher, but when you look at what he brings to the table, what people said, you know, he was rather reported for, Bill liked what he heard. Now, let's go a little further down here. So, you know, people really did make that Brady comparison up front, and I'm not saying he's going to be Brady. Never said he's going to be that. We know we'll never see another Tom. But when people talk about, you game managing, the way he can obviously read the pre-snap, run the offense, run the schemes. And that's something that Bill is absolutely looking for. And if he can grab a hold of Mac early on and know that he's got him from day one, because he probably wants to be Mac's only mentor. So coming in day one, he's immediately going to have him locked down to keep the system the same. And here's another thing. People sometimes forget that Bill Belichick's 69 years old. He's not trying to employ a new system, potentially work in a running quarterback. Like, he's got a lot of similarities with Mac, and he wants to keep it the same. I mean, thoughts on that, Fees?
Yeah, man, I can definitely see the direction that he wants to go with Mac. I mean, just like I was telling you before, what I was foreseeing in the far future for what Mac was going to do, he was doing it in preseason. Like in the Philly game, he led multiple drives that were over 15 plays. That's the kind of ball control offense that will let the defense actually just set in. They get rest. That's how you just take games away from people when you keep the offense on the field that long.
Right.
And he's good at constructing those kind of drives. But, I mean, Cam showed that he was actually running the same offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were both doing it. I can see that Mac was doing it. Mac did not do it against any starters.
Right. All preseason.
If that's what you were going to do, Mac should have got some reps with the starters.
Yeah.
At least got him just like a little bit, like let him get his feet wet.
Right.
He's going to get out there against Miami and be like, oh, it's real defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So check this out, man. You remember when Randy Moss got cut?
Yeah.
He went on after a game in a press conference and started talking about how he wanted a new contract and he wanted guaranteed money, and he was gone before the next week.
Yeah.
Cam went out on Sunday and made a post on Instagram saying that he was QB1 and they had not officially announced it. Now, I know that's foul, and it seems like, man, there's no way that's what it is. This is not outside the realm of what they do in New England.
Yeah.
If you speak outside of the organization, they're like, what? Excuse me? Out. Doesn't matter who it is. You cut Randy. They got rid of Ocho. They got rid of Richard Seymour. They got rid of Ty Law. I mean, they cut everybody.
Just named 4 straight legends right there.
They get rid of people, and they think nothing else about it. Like, what you're not going to do is go talk.
Right.
Even if it's a post. He didn't actually get out and say anything, but he did. I mean, guess when those guys were there, social media wasn't like that.
Right.
So that is the new form of talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that absolutely could have played a major role in it, much more than what we're giving it credit. It's crazy, man. It's like I know Cam went out and, like he said, please don't feel bad for me or feel sorry for me. But it's like, man, it's just he was dealt such a raw hand.
Yeah.
It's like you had to replace the GOAT in a location with no weapons whatsoever.
Yep, he got to witness what Brady literally did in the last year.
All those opt-outs. Then you get no off-season, no preseason, no training camp, COVID, no people in the stadiums. It's like, man, how many more chips could he have had just stacked against him?
Right.
He came out, took all of that on the chin, and then you showed him the door. It's like, damn, that was just foul.
Yeah, I agree.